Desoto. As it turned out, it wasn't stock, and the owner is a famous race car builder.
Folks, I want you to see a car that we used to see. We used to say your dad's Desoto, kind of implying that the Desoto was an old man's car and all of that. I'm sure you're aware of all those references.
Oh yeah, I've heard them all.
Well, I've got more news for you. Nobody today has even heard of a Desoto, so we don't have to worry about the references anymore. First of all, you are
Bob Novi.
Bob, where are you from?
I knew Lennox.
Bob Novi, where have I heard of you before?
I was in the race car business for many years.
What'd you build?
Late model stock cars.
That's what I thought, dirt cars.
Dirt cars,
Dirt
yes.
cars, great. Not doing it anymore?
No, I'm building racing airplanes now.
Oh, that's cool. What kind of stuff?
Unlimiteds that we race at Reno.
Oh, that's very cool. You would run against the Bearcats and the
Yep.
people. I'm trying to think of the guy that built the, oh, help me. He built one to compete against those, a hand-built airplane. Boy, I hate being old. My memory fails me. But he was using modern high-tech airframe. And you know what I'm talking about, or
Yep.
no?
Yes, I do. It was a twin-engine airplane they built.
Yes.
And unfortunately, it didn't work out so well, and he passed away racing it.
Is that, yeah, okay. I vaguely remember the story.
Yeah,
But so
yeah.
what are you going to be racing?
We have a Hawker Sea Fury,
Oh, that'll do it.
and the astronaut Hoot Gibson flies it for us in the
Is that
races.
right?
Yes.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. You haven't gotten away from the excitement then.
No, I'm still racing, just different stuff.
Just different stuff. It never changes, and there's nothing wrong. I've told people that over and over again. Sometimes I think we're married to any one of these things. I think you ought to take what you learn from each one of the activities and take it to the next, and you can apply it. You know what I mean?
That's exactly right. The man who owns the airplane called me up when I was in the racing business and needed things made out of metal, and that was what I was doing. So
And you got into the airplane.
that's how we got involved in it.
Nothing wrong. That's very cool, by the way. Now, he's still got the excitement going with the racing airplanes, having replaced the racing late model dirt cars, except apparently he likes a little calmness in his life, and he's got a Desoto. Tell me about it. Make year and model and go from there.
Well, there's a little more story to it than that. When I was a kid, 16 years old, I had no money. You know, I scraped up $100, and the only car I could buy was this old 48 Desoto sedan. I hated it. I wanted a cool 57 Chevy or something, but $100 didn't buy one of those. They did buy a Desoto.
Yeah.
So years later, when I was getting near the end of my racing career in the cars and more in the airplanes and had a little more room in my shop, I says, I want to restore something. So what do? I go find a 48 Desoto like I had when I was a kid, and that's what I restored.
Because we're always reaching back for the sweeter times and the simpler times and something that reminds us of the great periods of our lives. Am I right?
Yes, I'm now 17 years old, so it's...
I understand. I understand. Now, engine and driveline.
It's actually got a small block Chevy that I've modernized and made look like an old Desoto motor.
Well, I must admit, you fooled me. I saw the Desoto fire drum under there, and I said, gee, I didn't realize that they had a V8 this far back. It seems to me that the Desoto V8 didn't start until about 54 or 55.
52, actually.
52? Okay.
Yep, but that's what I made it look like.
You made it look like that.
Yep.
Okay, anything else special about the car that
It's all modernized. It's got a late model front frame section under it. It's got disc brakes, power steering, air conditioning, power windows. I kept the exterior, the body and everything as stock appearing as I could and made it all modern. I can put my grandkids in it, drive down the highway at 70 miles an hour and not worry whether the brakes are going to work or anything like that.
Boy, what a sleeper.
Oh yeah.
What a sleeper. Great car. Folks, just when you started thinking DeSotos weren't, well, I can't even say that anymore because probably most of you never even heard of DeSoto. You know what we got to explain before we leave here?
What's that?
DeSoto was a Chrysler Corporation car. They made Plymouth, Dodges, DeSotos, Chryslers, Imperials.
Right,
this was one
right
of the,
in that order too, value-wise.
This was one of the Chrysler lineup of cars, and you know what? It's funny how times change. Youngsters look at me now. I'll say Plymouth. They never even heard of Plymouth.
Never
Can you
even
believe
heard
that?
of Plymouth. Yeah.
And DeSoto was gone many years before Plymouth.
1961 was the last DeSoto.
Was it that long
Yep,
ago? Oh,
1961.
Well, okay. So instead of saying, let's just say it this way, kids, they used to have DeSotos.
Let's not forget the big American road cars of the late